Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Sienna here with a brand new video. Today's pick a card reading is going to be our April 2025 predictions. It's been a while since I've done a monthly predictions video. As you can see on my channel, I ended up not doing them monthly. But you know what? Today we had time, so this is what we're doing. All right, so we have our three groups here. Group 1, pile 1, is the Angels Tarot with the Morganite bracelet. Pile 2 is the original tarot, just the regular Rider-Waite with the white howlite bracelet. And pile 3 is the One World Tarot with the sky blue jade bracelet. And the bracelets are courtesy of today's sponsor, Otter Spirit. I really appreciate their help. And more on them later. But in our readings today, we're going to take a look at 3 different areas of your life for April 2025. So first is going to be career and money. Second is going to be love and relationships. So that, you know, it can be romantic, it can be friendship relationships, family relationships, whatever Spirit needs to talk about today. And then the third thing is going to be our personal growth, our spiritual growth. I'm pretty excited to get started. Pick whichever deck, whichever bracelet, whichever pile number jumps out at you, and meet me at the timestamps. You'll find them in the description and in a pinned comment, and let's begin. All right, pile number 1, welcome. I hope you're ready for an unforgettable reading. Okay, we have our Morganite bracelet, courtesy of Otter Spirit. I really appreciate their help, like I had mentioned earlier. Every month, Otter Spirit adds new stuff to their website. There are new collections that drop on the first day of each month. If you like the bracelets that I wear on my channel, you can find the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, but if you use the discount code, you'll get a little bit of money off, and then I'll make a little bit in commission, so it's kind of win-win for both of us. Anyways, shameless plug aside, we're gonna just get started with this reading. Okay. So yeah, your April 2025 predictions. I'll shuffle these, and then I'm actually going to get into some oracle cards too. I didn't mention those in the intro, but I do love to use them on my channel for our readings. Our oracle cards are the Moonology by Yasmin Boland. They are kind of my current favorite oracle cards to use. I'm not an astrologer, but for those who are well versed in astrology, you'll find a lot of the info on these cards really useful. If you're like me and you don't know much about astrology, just the energy and the advice printed on each card is so super helpful. Okay, so I think first for pile 1, yeah, I think I did say career first. So let's do an oracle card looking at group 1's career and finances for April 2025. What do we need to know? Spirit, what does group 1 need to know? What's the advice? Let's see, let's find out. Okay. They're kind of hard to shuffle. They're a little slippery in my hand. Beautiful cards though, very well made, good card stock, good quality. Anyways, career for group 1, pile 1. Okay, the energy is gaining momentum. So, whatever you've been working on recently, nice, it's picking up steam. There's something like really moving forward. I'm getting the word propulsion. I'm also getting the feeling that it's like sudden, like a sudden burst of movement forward after being still for a long time. So for a lot of you watching, I am just getting that there could be a project that you're finally getting the green light to start on after planning for months and months or waiting for approval. You're finally able to like go ahead with this. Maybe you were stuck on hiatus for a while for whatever reason, financial, time constraints, lack of resources, doesn't really matter. You're finally going to start again working on this. So that's good. We're going to just shuffle these tarot cards just one more time and get a little bit more info. Okay. So what else can pile 1 know, or group 1 know about their career? Ooh, strength. Yeah, with that energy gaining momentum, you're in a position now where you can actually do the thing that you have been planning to do. Oh my gosh, let's make sure these are in the frame so you can all see them. But yeah, wow. And you're finally going to be able to use your talents, whereas before, whatever you were working on, it just wasn't time for you to use whatever that, like, I'm getting like creative energy. So like say you are a really good designer or something like that, or a really good copywriter, or you just have an eye for symmetry, or for, making things look good. It wasn't part of the project before, and so, maybe other people were figuring out the technical aspect, and you're like waiting for your turn to put your contributions. Now you get to do that, and you get to shine at it, which I think is amazing. Doesn't have to be creative, but I did get that message for quite a few of you. For some of you, maybe your strength is the technical stuff of this project. It's just whatever it is that you are very skilled in and that you're good at and you feel confident doing, you'll finally have the opportunity to do in April. So congrats, I'm very excited for you. What else can we get? Okay, there are 2 that wanted to come out. Ooh, well, okay, all right. I'm getting here with Page of Wands, ideas that you had tried suggesting in the past were either turned down or ignored, or others that you were working with just didn't really understand it. So it kind of left you feeling a bit disappointed. I feel like that is changing this month. So group 1's ideas, how will they be received in April 2025? Ooh, well, the first thing I heard when I got these cards with our our 5 of Cups and our 4 of Swords, it's like, oh, we should not have slept on group 1's suggestion, because now they're kind of feeling the kick, or I don't know what you want to call that. Anyway, yeah, they're kind of feeling the pain in the butt from, oh, we should have just listened to her, or we should just listen to him. And it would have saved us so much time. I'm getting with this 4 of Swords, this is about resting, right? So that's where I got that, oh, we shouldn't have slept on this idea. Yeah, and it's one of those things where you probably already knew this. You're like, y'all, if you had just listened to me the first time, you would not have ended up in that stuck situation, or in the, whatever it was that just really wasn't working out, that caused the hiatus, that caused the slow movement, whatever. So yeah, your ideas will be taken a little bit more seriously when it comes to your work and your projects. That makes sense, considering we did have that energy gaining momentum and that strength card. You have really, really good ideas. And I think you've always had good ideas, at least when it comes to this. And yeah, other people, your colleagues or your employer, etc., they're starting to finally notice it. What other career messages for group 1? Oh, dang. Yeah. Okay. So it is the brilliant idea that you had. You had some kind of plan drafted up in the past too, like to try with this project. That's going to be what actually completes the project. Oh, that's a boob. I don't like to self-censor and censor these cards as much as I do on YouTube, but it's kind of a necessity. YouTube doesn't like, they don't like certain body parts, so I'm gonna have to keep that covered. But anyway, with that World card, that's all about the completion of, of a project. It's the completion of a cycle, of a season. If this project has been something that you've been kind of like feeling stuck working on for a long time, yeah, this is when either it wraps up in April, or your contributions to it are taken seriously this month, and it's your contributions and your, like I'd said earlier, your plans, your drafts, your ideas, that's what's going to get this project finished. I love that. I love that. There we go. Just did a little readjustment so you can see everything nicely in the frame. Okay, any last couple of career messages for pile 1, group 1? What about for finances, Spirit? Let's look at that. What's group 1's financial situation going to look like for April 2025? Oh, okay, 2 fell out. Yeah, okay, you're deciding, it seems like, yeah, you've been deciding between, do I spend my money on this or should I spend it on this? Should I get this thing now that I need or should I wait? And it seems like you just, either you don't really want the thing anymore and it's something that was causing you a little bit of anxiety here because it was an indecision. There's something you just weren't maybe fully aware of, that, oh, I actually didn't have to spend my money on either of these options, these items. For some of you, I'm seeing it's a car. Like for some of you, yeah, you're looking for like a used vehicle or something like that, because I just keep seeing the image of, it's literally a Toyota Camry. That's very specific, but it does give me that used car vibe. So Spirit does sometimes give me silly mental images to help me understand what they're trying to say. And so, like, let's say it was between the 2001 Camry and the 2000, I don't know, 3 Dodge Neon or whatever. And because they're both in your budget, but it's like, you don't really want to pick between. You're just like, I don't know which one's going to be better, or which one is going to be the least crappy, which one is going to be, you know, the least expensive to maintain, etc. And then there's another option that comes in and you're like, oh, I don't have to have either. I can just do something completely different. Again, doesn't have to be with vehicles. It can be with, you know, anything else that you are looking for, that you need. I'm getting also something about appliances, because I'm seeing like a washing machine where you're like, oh, do I buy new? Do I buy used? And then, you know, a family member or somebody's like, hey, we just upgraded to a new washing machine and our old one's fine. It just, you know, wasn't big enough or whatever. Like, do you want it? See, there is going to be some kind of alternative. You don't have to like make some kind of a tough decision or compromise that you don't really want to make, because an option is going to make itself known and you're like, oh, I actually don't need either of these. Here's this other option. Anything else about, whoa, okay, group 1's finances, you're gonna be very busy. Yeah, very busy with your work. And that makes sense with the energy gaining momentum and the, you know, the strength and everything that we had just talked about with whatever it is that you're doing at work right now. I'm seeing for some of you, there are extra shifts, and it's not because like you're desperate, it's because you have the energy and you wouldn't mind, you know, the extra money. It's like one of those things where it's not imposing on you to pick up a little bit of extra work, or to maybe you have like a side job, or, you know, like they call a side hustle or whatever. You have more time and energy to devote to that alongside what you're already doing. And that can bring in a little bit of extra money for you. So that's exciting. That's really good to know. I think we're going to keep the Oracle card, and I'm just going to put it over here. We are going to pack up all of these tarot cards and reshuffle, and we're going to move on to your relationships for April 2025. I'll shuffle these and then we'll do an Oracle card for your relationships also. And like I'd mentioned earlier, these can include your, you know, your romantic relationships, your boyfriend, girlfriend, spouse, whatever. But it can also talk about your family relationships, your friendships, and those kind of personal relationships in your life. But we'll see what Spirit has to say. Okay. Okay. I think that will do for shuffling. Now we're going to shuffle and get an Oracle card with a little bit of info on your relationships, Group 1. April 2025 relationships for Group 1. Okay, we have look at the bigger picture. I'm going to keep that right there. I think look at the bigger picture. There's something in the short term going on with your relationships that you're having trouble seeing past. But we're going to, like I said, we're going to look at these tarot cards. I did shuffle them. Let's do them one more time. Just one more good shuffle. And one more, and then Spirit says I have to stop. Okay, all right. So look at the bigger picture. Let's get more info on that. Okay, all right, okay. I have here the Fool card. I think this is for a lot of you who have just gotten into a relationship or just made friends with somebody. Yeah, this is a new connection that you're just starting, and I guess that makes sense because if you've only just started dating or just started hanging out or being friends or whatever, there's not a whole lot really to go off of in terms of a bigger picture. But I like seeing that we have a Queen of Pentacles right next to our Fool card, because I think these pentacles, at least to me, when I learned how to read tarot, I learned that pentacles are the slowest moving energy in the deck. And I think in this case, this is good. This is going to be a long-lasting friendship, and it's one where I just get with this Queen of Pentacles where it's like, it's two people who can take care of themselves. That Queen of Pentacles, she's very self-reliant. Yeah, two people who can take care of themselves. They're not two halves of one whole. They're two whole people who will come together to make two whole people who happen to really get on well. So this is good. I like seeing that. You don't need each other, but you want each other in your lives. It's not out of desperation. It's out of love and enjoyment. I think this is going to be a healthy relationship. This new connection you have with this person. Maybe because things are just so early right now, you are having some doubts on, oh, I wonder how long this will last. Like, is this going to be worthwhile? Am I going to end up hurt? Or, it looks like it's meant to last. It's built to last. And I'm getting something about like good quality. I'm being reminded of, like you can buy a product or something like, let's go back to the appliance example, the washing machine, let's just say. There are some that are very good quality and can last, 15, 20 years or more when they're maintained well and because there was so much care put into how they were made. I'm getting, it's that kind of energy, but with your relationship, with this connection. It was built to last. It has solid parts, quality materials, and it all starts with two people who like each other, but like I said, don't need each other and aren't desperate for each other. Okay, we just had those fly out. We'll keep those. What else about Group 1's relationships? Ah, I see. Okay. I can understand why maybe you're having your doubts and you're struggling to see that bigger picture or to envision like a longer term future, because I see where in the past you have been hurt before and you did want something that you thought was going to last and you expected it to be long term and it just suddenly wasn't. It was just like taken away. Or you were only together for like 2 months, but you thought you were going to be together longer and you're like, what? But that was so quick. That wasn't enough time. I see where that makes you maybe a little apprehensive. However, we have 3 of Pentacles. It looks like over the last few years, you've worked very hard on building yourself back up. and, you know, rebuilding your confidence, your self-esteem, your identity outside of your relationships. And that can be any kind of relationships. Sometimes we do the chameleon thing, or we mask a little bit, right? We can behave one way around our parents, but then with our best friend, we behave a totally different way. And then with our spouse or our romantic partner, again, there's a totally different side of us. You're learning, you learned who you are beneath all of that, you know, those masks. It doesn't mean that you're being fake or anything. It's just, you're just showing different sides of yourself to different people. Now you're aware of like your whole self. And Queen of Swords, you've gained a lot of wisdom as a result of what you've learned and from what you've been through in previous relationships. Your boundaries are much stronger. Yeah, there's the saying, do no harm, but take no shit. You don't let people hurt you anymore because you are able to now recognize when you're being hurt. Maybe before you didn't realize that a certain behavior was actually mistreatment or abuse, or was actually toxic or whatever. Now you know. So you see the red flags and you're like, no thanks, I'm leaving, I'm not dealing with this. You've become so much wiser, and you've become so much like choosier. You're more choosy, more picky, but it's in a good way. Yeah, your boundaries are stronger, your filters are stronger. You have, whatever happened in that previous relationship or that few years ago, that really, really grew you up fast emotionally. Okay, I'm just going to readjust my camera and my cards here just so you can see them better. Okay, I think that looks a little better. All right, so Spirit, what else can we know about Group 1's relationships for April 2025? Okay, 8 of Swords. Don't let the art frighten you, though. I don't think you are being stuck this month. I think you're being released. Yeah, cool. Okay. You are being released from something in your past that had kept you trapped. And it has to do with this like long-term effort that you have put into yourself and the time that you've spent alone with Hermit. Now, alone doesn't necessarily have to mean isolation. Sometimes spending time alone and being your own partner or being your own best friend, whatever, sometimes that's a really good thing. You've had a lot of time to self-reflect, and it's that has also helped you to grow. So now you're free from it's the poor self-esteem that kept a lot of you perhaps trapped in unhealthy relationships or friendships, because you now see your worth. I'm also seeing like you're no longer trapped by past experiences, and sometimes our brains are silly because, you know, they're wired to keep us alive, not necessarily to keep us happy. And sometimes after we have a bad experience, it can cloud our choices and our perception of people moving forward. But it seems like you're willing to I'm hearing you're willing to give trust a chance. So, because you really, this person, you really like them, and you really want this relationship, friendship, whatever, to work out. And where you, maybe with other people in the past, you're like, no, I don't want to get comfortable. I don't want to get too close. I don't want to be vulnerable. I don't want to be hurt. Oh, Spirit's telling me to show you what's on the bottom of my deck, by the way, and that's Temperance. So we're going to add that to our reading. You've done a lot of healing to the point where you now feel strong enough to not only, like I mentioned earlier, give trust another chance, but to, if it doesn't work out, or if that person, you end up not liking them as much as you thought, that's not going to devastate you as much as it would have in the past. Because you're like, you know what? I know who I am, and I love myself, and at my core, I am love. This is a big step out of your comfort zone for you guys, Group 1. I was going to ask Spirit for one more message. We're going to just do this. It was this Six of Swords. This is one of my favorite cards because it is all about going from chaos to calm. You are moving on from the pain of your past and the effects that it had on you and the way that you show up in your relationships. Now you're moving on to something better. That bigger picture. Spirit wants you to look at how far you've come. Like, compare the way you showed up in your relationships, let's say 3 years ago, to today. And how different that you are and how much more confident you are and how much more understanding or caring or empathetic or whatever that you are, not only towards others, but towards yourself. I love this for you. You are finally free from whatever hurt you and held you back in the past. So that's what I have for your relationships. We're going to put these back. And we'll shuffle, and then we'll take a look at your personal growth for the month of April for you guys in group 1. Whoa. So let's get an oracle card for that. Your personal growth for April 2025. Group 1, pile 1, Spirit, what is the message that they need? A win-win outcome is forecast. I love this. I love this. Everything's coming up Millhouse for you guys in April, it looks like, and I'm very happy to see that. So let's get more info on that win-win outcome when it comes to group 1's personal growth, their inner life, their inner world. What's going on with that? Okay, you know what? I'm going to ask first, Spirit, what does group 1 have to look forward to with their personal growth, with that win-win outcome? And I guess we could still use that message from the relationship section where you are now free from whatever used to hold you back. You're feeling better about yourself. You have a stronger sense of your identity, your boundaries, etc. That is a huge personal growth, and I think that is a huge win. But what else? Okay, Page of Swords, Devil. Oh, you're no longer... and nudity on that one. Okay, all right. We're going to hold them kind of funny like that. Yeah, I'm laughing because you are just no longer bothered by the petty stuff. You are not hurt by the opinions of people that you'd never seek advice from. You're not hurt by the opinions of I'm hearing of petty people. Spirit is reminding me of this really old song, and it is called Harper Valley PTA. I can't remember who the singer is, but when I do, I'll put her name up on the screen. Anyway, basically the point of the song is she's calling out all of these people in her community for judging her, even though they have not checked themselves, and they themselves have things that, she could have been judging them for, and she kind of is in the song, but it's... There's a line saying, "This is just a little Peyton place, and you're all Harper Valley hypocrites. You're leaving this Peyton place." And that is even a more obscure, I guess, older reference that has a bit of an influence on the song itself. But anyway, point is, you're not, you're no longer hurt. I gotta do this like this. YouTube is just so weird about their art. They're cards. It's art. YouTube, get your... Anyway, sorry. You're no longer plagued by, opinions and voices that don't really matter, that if you weren't in close proximity, you wouldn't seek out these people or their opinions or their voices or their thoughts to hear in the first place. Cool. Also, there were like smaller worries that really used to plague you. Now, I'm not a doctor, a psychiatrist, nothing like that, okay? I don't give this kind of advice, but I do see for some of you, perhaps especially with this devil card, I'm getting the word obsessions. Some of you maybe had like obsessions or really, really big anxiety, over certain things, or you had a huge obsession or an anxiety over like a certain theme. And it's something that it's normally something small, or something that other people who don't understand what you're going through are like, well, that's not a big deal. Why are you so worried about it? You are no longer going to be plagued by this. It's something that used to absolutely just rock you and devastate you. And it's something that used to be so intrusive. Now, whatever thoughts or anxieties or mental images that come up that used to bother you, now you're just like, ugh, I know what you are. You'll pass. I'm fine. Thanks for reminding me, brain, but I'm totally safe right now, and this thought does not help me at all. So that's awesome news. I'm very happy to see that for a lot of you. What else can we get for Pile 1's personal growth for April 2025? A new idea? What kind of new idea? It's something, it's mental, or it's a new idea. There's some kind of new concept introducing itself to you. Ooh, okay, Ace of Wands. It has to do with your creative, your creative faculties, your creative abilities. You know what? That does kind of tie in with that career message that we had, right? Where people were taking your ideas more seriously, and perhaps you are even taking your ideas more seriously. You have more confidence because you're less afraid of the judgment and the opinions that just no longer matter to you. Gossip doesn't hurt you anymore either. That's something I'm hearing. Gossip isn't going to bother you the month of April, because the people who are doing that behind your back, they know what they know, but they don't know what all you know. They don't know every aspect of your experience. They don't know what it's like to be you and how it feels. I love this. Six of Wands. There's our win-win. Six of Wands is all about that victory, and it's all about that success. Also, the support and encouragement, I think, from other people, that is what's helping you to succeed. You're letting yourself win. Maybe you used to be afraid of like rejection or, gossip, or afraid of criticism and stuff. So you just kind of rolled over and let other people do what they wanted to do, even if you really didn't like it, or you saw a problem with it. Now you're like, nope. This is what I have. This is my contribution, and I feel good about it, and I feel good about myself. Now, you don't have to like my ideas or my contributions, but I'm not going to be offended by your opinions of, what I have to say, or what I think, or what I want to do. It's a huge personal win. You used to be a mega people pleaser, Group 1, didn't you? You're getting over that because you're learning that you need to please you. And within reason, but what that reasonable limit is. You already know how to treat others kindly. You know when to put other people's needs ahead of your own wants, but now you're learning how to put your needs ahead of other people's wants. And you're even learning how to put your own wants ahead of other people's wants, right? That's not selfish. More emotionally balanced for April. The gender on the court cards, I don't think it's very important, at least not for a lot of these readings. It's the energy that's present. That King of Cups, he's very balanced. He's very emotionally mature. He has the emotional intelligence and the compassion for other people because he's secure in who he is. A win for others is not a loss for himself, and he knows that. And a win for himself is not going to be a loss for others. Now, maybe you've been afraid all this time, or you were raised or socialized to believe that, well, if you get what you want, then that takes away an opportunity from someone else. No. For this month, at least for your situations, that is so not true. Don't take away from your own wants and needs. Awesome. I'm so excited for you, Group 1. This looks really good. This is great personal growth, great progress for you. This is a tough journey, and it has been, and there's absolutely no doubt, but I'm so happy that you are going to be happy. And amazing. I'm just so excited for you. Now, that is the reading I have for you today, Group 1. I really hope that this was helpful. If you liked it, well, you know what to do. Like, comment, sub, share, whatever. Thank you so much for watching. Now, private readings are open. The link is in the description. The link to where you can find my bracelets, that's also in the description. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. All right, hello pile 2, welcome to your reading. This is your April 2025 predictions if you chose the regular Rider-Waite Tarot and the white Howlite bracelet courtesy of Otter Spirit, then these messages will be for you. If you like this bracelet or the other bracelets I wear on this channel, the affiliate link is in the description. I do mention it's an affiliate link because I like being transparent with my viewers. If you use the discount code that I've also included in the description, you get a little bit of money off on your purchase, and when you use the link, I get a little commission. So I see it as a win-win for both of us. Anyway, thanks to Otter Spirit for sponsoring this video. Sponsorship segment aside, let's just get into your reading. So, April 2025, I cannot believe it's already springtime, and I'm from Canada. I'm from the prairies where winter is I'm going to say very interesting. It's unpredictable because, yeah, we know we're going to get a cold snap where it's -30, -40, whatever. And then, we're going to get a big dump of snow, especially when spring is just starting. We usually get like 1 or 2 great big last dumps of snow, and then it's like officially spring. Now we're getting into where it is officially spring, and it just makes me so happy. And I just felt inspired to, do a April springtime predictions video for you guys. Anyway, first we're going to take a look at our career and finances. And we're going to do that with the use of these Moonology Oracle cards by Yasmin Boland. I don't think I mentioned that in the intro, but whatever, it's fine. We're going to get a message for your career and your finances. And then we'll do a message or messages regarding your relationships. So that can be your, romantic or your marriage or whatever, but it can also be your friendships or family relationships, whatever Spirit decides is most important for you to learn about, at least for this reading. Then we'll get into your personal growth and your spiritual development, your very, rich inner world. But let's shuffle these and let's just jump in with a career message. So, Spirit, what does Group 2, Pile 2, need to know about their career and or finances for April 2025? Okay, a time, slippery, almost fell right out of my hand there. A time for healing. Okay, so we're going to keep that there. And then we'll just do a couple of tarot cards to go along with this. So yeah, okay, seems like perhaps things have been either really rough with work, or you've been really, really busy, and maybe now you just finally finished a project, or you just finally got time to sit back a little bit. Maybe you're just not in that crunch mode anymore. Maybe some of you are on holiday of some kind. I know some jobs, especially if you work in education, and I think there are a couple of other industries that take a spring break, or maybe you are in university and it's reading week. I don't know if every institution has reading week around the same time, but I know a lot of places often do that in the spring. Or it's a semester break or something for you, I don't know. But time for healing, and it seems like you're going to be able to catch up on getting some rest. But what other, I was going to say, Spirit, what other messages? You're leaving behind the rat race. is something that I was getting here with that Knight of Swords. Something was very highly competitive, was very demanding on your energy. Now that can be like your spiritual energy, but I'm also just getting it was really draining on your mental energy and on your body. 8 of Cups, you're finally walking away from that. Fantastic. Okay. So, yeah, some of you have recently left a toxic or just an unsuitable working environment for you. Because, I mean, not everything that's uncomfortable is toxic, but sometimes, you know, we hear all kinds of stories about toxic working environments or, you know, jobs where it starts off really good and then people come and go and the balance of the personalities and the energies and stuff just changes, and then it's just, you know, you feel like it's no longer in alignment for you. A lot of you have left, a job or a workplace that just was out of alignment. You're tired of, I'm getting also the word cutthroat. You were tired of the cutthroat energy there and you were tired of, just always being in competition. Some of you left workplaces where they kind of pitted you, like employees, against each other instead of working together, you know, for achieving a goal. I'm seeing something about sales, and this does happen a lot in sales related jobs where it's like, okay, you know, who's going to get the highest numbers this month? Who's going to make the most sales? Who's going to make the most commission? But sometimes, and I'm not saying all sales jobs are like that, but I do know that in some workers will throw other workers under the bus and snatch up their clients or their sales. Or I'm seeing also something about like tables. So for service industry as well, you know, maybe you were a server in like a restaurant or something, and you know, the other staff working there would steal like the tables that were in your section, or, you know, you took 2 minutes to go to the bathroom and they closed out that table's tab and they took the tip and they took everything that was actually supposed to be for you. Yeah, you've walked away from that. I can see why you left an environment like that. It's just not your speed anymore. So, time for healing. What else can we know? Yeah, you don't want to be in competition anymore. You want to work more towards cooperation. And some of you, if you have like already left a job or a working environment where it just it wasn't what you wanted anymore, or it was something you never were really comfortable with, perhaps you've already applied to or been accepted or got an offer or whatever for a different place with, just a more laid back and team oriented vibe instead of just, you know, survival of the fittest, survival of the meanest sometimes. So I'm happy for you with that. Definitely moving into an environment where you will like the people that you are with. You will like the clientele or the customers, the people in your community who you are serving. And that makes such a huge difference, doesn't it? It really does. Having good people around really can make or break someone's experience with like their career path. What else can we get here? Ooh, okay. I see. Well, okay, this might be a little extreme, but for some of you, there's litigation. Maybe an employer lied to you or did something to betray you, or and it was bad enough that an attorney was like, oh, hell yeah, you have a case. Let's look at this. Let's get into this. Perhaps there's something like starting in April, maybe there are hearings, or maybe it depends, right? Everyone's situation with this is going to be a little bit different. But yeah, I do get something about legal proceedings finally starting in April or moving forward in April. And it does have to do with an employer that threw you under the bus, that really they really stabbed you in the back. They did something that was objectively wrong. Whether it was legal or not, I don't know. That could depend on your situation, but it was definitely not ethical or moral what they did. Maybe that's why you left that workplace. I'm also hearing something about wrongful termination. So for some of you who maybe have filed a wrongful termination suit or complaint or something, maybe you're seeing progress with that come April. Hermit and High Priestess. Yeah, with this like last job or this last environment that you were in, it was like everybody knew something that you didn't, or the upper management, they knew something that the regular workers didn't, that they were like, you guys were purposely, left in the dark on. And it was something that they, like the superiors, whatever, really, really did not want you guys to find out. Now this is specific, but just an example that Spirit's giving me is maybe there is a workplace that's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like nobody is looking for work in this field. Like we've been trying to hire someone and, we've put ads out there, but nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to apply here. Oh, I'm just so sorry. Or we can't afford to hire a third person. I'm sorry that you and Jim over here are doing the work of 4 people just amongst the 2 of you, but we really appreciate you guys are such rock stars for doing this. And then what they're keeping from you is they definitely have the money to hire someone, or they actually weren't putting out job ads, or they were doing like they maybe put out ads, but they did something in such a way to make it so that nobody would apply. It's sketchy. It's really sketchy. But you're leaving that behind, so don't worry about it. But I think in April, you're going to find out what it was that was being hidden from you, from that employer. Interesting. Okay, what about finances, Spirit? How about Group 2's finances for April? What is that looking like? Okay, an overflow of abundance. Something is coming in. And now, for those of you who did resonate with that litigation kind of message, perhaps in the next 4 weeks, now it is the 5th of March as of recording. It is the 25th of March as of recording. So 4 weeks from now, that does still put you into kind of that middle end of April. There's like this influx of abundance. So yeah, there is a point here. Perhaps somebody settles out of court and you end up like getting paid out or compensated for something that they did. They've decided to, okay, fine, whatever. To them, it's like, oh, whatever, we'll just shut pile 2 up because we really don't want to take this to court. So we'll just settle it and then move on. And then you end up getting what you want out of that situation. But also, and I asked about spirituality finances, but I keep getting like a message about your spirituality and your emotional, your emotional state. Like you feel vindicated in April. Yeah, yep. Judgment card, you're like, I was right. And I'm hearing something about that is more valuable than gold. Can we get anything else about Group 2's finances though? Like what's their money situation looking like for April? Because there is that abundance. So yes, somebody does earn like compensation that was rightfully owed to them, but what else? Maybe for those who don't resonate with that litigation thing, what about their financial stuff? Okay, making plans for the future. Wheel of Fortune. Where you're about to go next in your career path. I see where you're still making the plans for it. Maybe some of you want to go back to school. Maybe some of you are putting out resumes and applications to other places because it's where you're at is no longer in alignment. Where you're going will be in alignment. No. Okay, yeah, huge change. Oh, yeah, okay, it's a huge change, but it will lead to longer term financial stability. It will lead to eventually, I see what's going on, especially if you're going back to school or doing some kind of retraining, or, you know, sometimes when you start at a new job, you're kind of at the bottom of the pay ladder and you have to kind of work your way back up. Yeah, okay. What you're making plans for and what will be happening for April is going to set you up for long-term financial success in the future. Okay. But for right now, Spirit's saying just keep doing like the best that you can. Make the best choices that you can with your situation and the resources you have on hand. Yeah, all the work you're doing now, it will lead you to prosperity in the future. Okay. But for April, it seems like right now you're just resting, you're recovering, you're getting ready to be in a stronger position for this future. Okay, so that's what I have for your career and financial messages. I'm going to put all of these back in the deck. And we're going to move on to your relationship messages. We're going to keep that oracle card up there, though. So let's get an oracle card for Group 2, Pile 2's relationships, Spirit. What do they need to know regarding their personal connections? It's time to take action. Okay, interesting. I'm going to just put that over there for now, though, that oracle card. We're going to shuffle our tarot cards and get a little bit more info. It's time to take action. What kind of action is it time to take in your relationships? So what kind of action does Group 2 need to take regarding their personal connections? Okay, well, first of all, if you like someone, tell them. This I'm getting is maybe more geared towards your romantic and more, I'm going to say more spicy physical relationships. Yeah, if you want someone, make it known to them that you want them. I'm also just getting, it's that Billy Joel song, Tell Her About It. Tell her about it. My singing voice is not completely up to snuff today. I also don't want to get slapped with a copyright thing because sometimes YouTube is silly, and if you sing too many seconds of a song, you will get a copyright warning. But yeah, if you like someone, tell them, pursue them, make that first move. Like maybe they want you to chase them. And yeah, I'm just getting here like you've collected enough evidence that this person feels the same way about you. You have the proof you've been looking for. You've been trying to look at this logically, and you know, you're like, well, okay, yeah, my gut says this, my heart says this, and you know, somewhere else says this. But you're like, but I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to be hasty. You know, I want to be smart about this. I don't want to frighten that person off. You're not going to frighten this person off, Group 2. You don't have to hide your feelings around them anymore. If you've been like Seven of Swords it's kind of an interesting one because it is a card about dishonesty, but we're not always dishonest on purpose, and we're not always dishonest with bad intentions, right? Sometimes we mask and we maybe hide aspects of ourselves because we don't know what that other person's going to think. We don't really share our full feelings with someone because we don't want to be rejected or judged or whatever. That's not what's going to happen with you this month. Group 2, I'm going to just put these up here so you can see them better. It's okay to be honest about your feelings about this person. I'm getting the word safe. It is safe to do so. You have the evidence that you need. You have the information that you need. Now you can just go for it and be like, hey, I really like you. Do you want to go for supper sometime? Or do you want to hang out sometime? Or, in whatever form that takes for you, because everybody's relationships are a bit different, and everyone maybe has a different way of proclaiming their feelings for someone. So you do that in the way that's most comfortable for you. If you have that, I'm going to say if you and somebody, you like each other, you have that attraction, there is a bit of sexual tension. I'm getting for April, I'm hearing go for it. You might be surprised how much of a good time you will have. This person wants you just as badly as you want them. Okay, so what else can we know about group 2's relationships? That was pretty spicy. What else can we know? Okay, Devil, Empress. This is a little similar. I'm going to say a little bit similar to pile 1 or group 1, but they had slightly different cards. Okay, so Devil card and 4 of Pentacles together. Insecurity because perhaps you were in, and there's nudity on these cards. I love that. I love that I got a censor. We're going to just go ahead and do that. Love that I have to go and censor these, beautiful tarot cards just because YouTube does not like that. Anyway, perhaps in the past you were in a relationship that was very controlling or perhaps abusive or just really, really toxic. And I can understand if that's something that you've been through. I can understand why you're holding back and masking and a little bit hesitant to share how you feel. You're hesitant to, now with the Empress, you're hesitant to let this relationship that you have currently grow because of what's happened to you, prior. So what's the advice here, Spirit, for them? Okay, there's let go of the past. Now that is easier said than done. That is, it is hard to do for a lot of people, especially depending on what you've been through, but especially if it was something particularly dangerous or really bad. I see why that is, on the surface, not a helpful message. But the thing is, you don't have to do this part alone. If you have access to professional help, like a professional therapist or somebody that has the expertise in relationships or mental health or something, it may be worth seeking out their help to help you to release your pain from the past. That is a process. It's not something that happens overnight, but Spirit's saying it is safe for you to do this now, to let go. What other messages do we have here? Devil and 4 of Pentacles. Oh, well, we also have don't let your own insecurity take away a good thing from you. That 7 of Swords kind of comes to mind a little bit too with that. It's also a card of theft or of betrayal. Don't betray yourself. Don't rob yourself of the opportunity to have a healthy and fulfilling relationship. I'm also hearing know what the red flags are, know what your limits are. You don't need to walk on eggshells around anybody. And if you find that you are, it's okay to leave. You don't have to let that grow into anything else. It's okay to just let it die. Let it fade, let it fizzle, whatever you want to call that. What else can we get for group 2's relationships for April 2025? I like that you are moving into different energy though. Oh yeah, look at that. It's secure relationship. You will have what you need because you are now secure in yourself. You're getting better at loving yourself and trusting yourself. You're getting better at treating yourself well and extending compassion. And you're getting better at allowing yourself to be happy. I want this one for some reason. I really want that one. Okay. So for some of you who are perhaps in relationships that are not very healthy or they're very draining for you, you're going to realize that you have the power to drop it. Everything that's burdening you. You know, if you really cannot work things out with this person, Spirit is giving you permission to leave. And they're giving you permission to just no longer be responsible for somebody else's problems, for somebody else's feelings. You are being given permission to just be responsible for yourself if you're in a situation that is just really overbearing, is really draining, is really exhausting on you. What else can we get, Spirit? And I think that tell them about your feelings, the take action, that can apply to this too. So taking action, it doesn't just have to be, oh, I like you, you know, it's going to be a good thing, let's get together. So for some of you, taking action is like, you know what, I've had enough, I'm done. Let's break, like we're breaking up, I'm moving out, I'm leaving, I'm going to be on my own. And I think that is just as powerful. It's that it has the same energy, just maybe taking on an opposite form. But for those of you who resonate with the, you know, tell them you love them kind of feeling, this relationship is going to be good for you. For those of you who are in a relationship that is really draining, is really unhealthy, Spirit is saying that you are allowed to leave. You don't need anybody's permission to end a relationship that you no longer want to be in. You can leave. It's hard. I understand it's not always that easy. In some circumstances, you have to be very careful, but you have permission to start making those plans. Okay? Interesting. Okay. So for your relationships, that was a bit of a mixed bag of messages, but that's okay because you know, different things are going to resonate with different people. I'm very happy for those of you who are entering, you know, passionate, new, loving, healthy relationships. And you know what? I'm actually happy for those who are leaving bad ones. Oh. Yeah, you're no longer, either way, you will be in a position where you no longer have to be so defensive. You no longer feel like you're caught off guard by like, oh, what's this person going to be like when I get home today? Or what kind of mood did this person wake up in? What kind of text messages or what kind of, you know, what kind of thing am I going to deal with this person today? No, it's not like that anymore. And whether that means you are entering a relationship that's healthy or you're leaving one that is not, like I said. Okay, so then next we're going to do an oracle card. We're going to look at your personal growth, your personal development, your inner world for April 2025. So let's see what the oracle message for that is. What do we got? This one. That's the one I wanted. Believe in the impossible. Oh, and blue moon. I'm not an astrologer, but I do know what that saying once in a blue moon means. So believe in the impossible. Now, when it comes to your personal growth and your personal development, there's something that you didn't think you were capable of achieving, or a place in life or mentally or whatever that you didn't think you were ever going to see, and you do. So let's get more info on that. I still have that Billy Joel song in my head, by the way. Okay, but group 2, pile 2's personal growth, their rich inner life. What do we have? Okay. Leaving something behind that no longer serves you, and you don't have to go back to it again. I love that. Okay, we have these two want to come out together. Okay, I knew I saw that Empress when we were shuffling. I knew that. And then these two also are poking out. So we're going to actually keep those. And we'll try and keep everything well enough in frame that you can still see it. Okay, all right. Yeah, leaving behind something that does not serve you anymore because you need to make room for peace and harmony in your life. You're tired of being at war with yourself. You're really, really tired of hating yourself. It's kind of interesting because it's that ego aspect of us that is like our inner critic and is our biggest judge and our biggest bully. And the part of you that is love and light is like, oh, enough. I am so tired of this. And I laugh because I'm in a similar situation. So I completely understand what you're going through with this, pile 2. Yeah, but in April, you are going to feel, again, with that safety. I get that, again, that word safe. It is safe to do so. It's safe to let go of that inner critic. It's safe to ignore the inner critic. Sometimes, we might try and counter our thoughts with, oh yeah, well, this and this. And then that inner critic or the anxiety gets louder and louder. Oh yeah, well, what about this? It's safe to just ignore that inner mean girl bully, right? Your self-love is growing with this Empress. There is so much great potential for you, and you're about to manifest something very important for your spiritual life, and we'll get into that in a second, but it's going to leave you very, very satisfied. 9 of Cups is wish come true. Emotionally, you will feel as if, oh my God, I feel so good. I have everything I need, everything that I want. You'll be satisfied with how things turn out. So what is group 2 manifesting then in their personal growth? Is it that increased peace and harmony within themselves, or is there something else to it? Because that's definitely part of it. Healing. I'm so happy for you. Oh my God. I'm going to put our Temperance right down there by the Empress, manifesting healing. And it's, for some of you, maybe it's like for the first time ever, you love yourself or you like yourself. Maybe you had experiences in your early life that shaped the way you saw yourself from the time you were very young. That happens, I think that happens to everybody to a degree, but for some people, they are left just not valuing themselves or not even knowing how to love and value themselves, not even knowing that that is a thing. Like, you are allowed to like yourself. You guys are manifesting now. Yeah, I love that. Healing. You're healing your relationship with yourself. You're learning to forgive yourself. You're learning to show kindness to yourself. And it's a long process. We have temperance. Temperance is not a quick moving card. This is slow and steady, but I think it's for the best because it'll be at your speed that you're most comfortable with. And it's not going to be like tomorrow morning you wake up and everything is completely different and you view yourself completely differently. It could be something that's starting in April or you've been seeing notable progress with in April. Maybe think about the way you viewed yourself and talked about yourself and to yourself last year as opposed to this year and see how different that things are. Anyways, so that's a process that's going to continue to happen, is that healing of the self. What else can we get for group 2's personal growth? Oh yeah. Strong foundation, like a good, you're looking out for your long-term well-being now. I'm going to try not to get too dark here, and maybe there'll be a little bit of a trigger warning, content warning, but you know, some people are in such difficult or dire situations that they don't expect to see the next year. Do you know what I mean? I don't like having to dance around certain words and stuff, but again, it has to all go back to that censorship thing. YouTube doesn't like when you use words such as, you know, the word that starts with S that has to do with ending one's own existence. I'm not afraid to use that word, but I also do not want to be demonetized again and have my stuff suppressed by the algorithm again. So, you know, some people, I've actually heard, you know, friends of mine say, like, I am in my 20s now and I don't know what to do because I didn't think I was going to live past 16. Right? So if that is something that resonates with you, you are having hope for the future, and it's exciting to be able to now like prepare for your long-term goals and your desires, because you're like, you know what? I like being me and I like to be here and I deserve to be here and I deserve to take care of myself and I deserve to give myself a chance for a really solid future. And again, a stronger sense of your identity and of who you are. There's having everything that you want and feeling satisfied emotionally. There's having what you want and having what you need in the physical to be able to achieve whatever goal it is, or to be able to achieve your goal. So perhaps maybe you did not have access to resources like therapy or some other kind of professional help. And maybe in April you do end up, hey, you know, maybe you were on the wait list for a therapist or something like that. And they're like, hey, we had an opening. Would you like to come see someone at the end of the month? Or, hey, we have an opening. Like, I'm happy to do your intake paperwork and stuff now. Let's get started. Or you have the money now to go to a therapist or to go to, whatever other health professional or other kind of, professional guidance, right? You now have the resources to do that. Any last things for group 2's personal development? Do no harm, but take no crap. I love that. That was, I think pile 1 had a similar message. It wasn't quite the same, but it was a similar vibe. So not only are you, starting to like yourself and take care of yourself and look after your long-term needs and stuff like that, you are also becoming more confident, I think, with your boundaries and with saying no and with maybe cutting people out that really have not been a good influence on you, that have maybe caused you all kinds of this pain or contribute to that inner mean girl, critic, bully, whatever you want to call that. And it's also you being able to put up that boundary with yourself. You go and, let's just say, for example, you put on this cute dress because it's finally warm enough to wear a dress. That inner critic goes, ew, you look so fat in it. And you're like, excuse you. fat or not, I look beautiful in this dress. The size of my body is not the size of my worth. You know, the way my body looks does not determine the value I have as a person, as a human being, and as a spiritual being having a human experience. So, you know what? You can go and shove off. I'm going to wear this dress because I think it is cute AF. Like, you have that confidence to even to tell yourself to get back in line. And one last thing for group 2. Yeah, it's a process, hangman. It'll take time. But you're making so much headway. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so happy for you. I'm sorry that you've struggled in the past, but I am so, so pleased to see that you have all these good messages and good cards. You're leaving behind stuff that is just no longer meant for you. You're leaving behind the toxic, you're leaving behind all the bad stuff, and you're moving towards healing, and you're moving towards a better life. And I think that is amazing. That's a wonderful message for you guys. I really hope this reading was helpful. That is all I have for you today, group 2. Private readings are open. The link is in the description of my video. If you like the bracelets that I wear in this video or on my channel, yeah, Otter Spirit is so super great. They have great quality stuff. And like I said before, you can head to that affiliate link, which is also in the description. Use the discount code and yeah, you know how that all works. Anyway, thank you so, so much for watching. If you liked this, you know what to do. Like, sub, comment, whatever. I just appreciate you being here, and I'll see you again next time. All right, and last but not least, group 3, hello, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen the sky blue jade bracelet, courtesy of Otter Spirit, or you've chosen the One World Tarot, or just the fact that it was group 3, and you know, some people are always drawn to the same pile, and some people are drawn to the deck, and some people are drawn to the, you know, other little thing. Well, this is the message for you. Now, if you like this pretty bracelet and the other ones I wear on this channel, the link is in the description to the Otter Spirit store where you can get them. There's also a discount code for you in the description. Gonna be honest, it's an affiliate link, so I actually get a little commission on this, and like I said, if you use the code, you get a discount, so it's a win-win for both of us. Anyway, sponsorship segment aside, welcome to your reading. We are looking at your April 2025 predictions. First, we're going to look at your career and finances. Then we're going to take a look at your relationships. That can be romantic relationships, friendships, family relationships, whatever Spirit decides is most important to talk about. That's what will be covered. And then we're going to look at your personal growth, your inner life, your inner self for the month of April. So I'm getting these all shuffled up. Now, if you like this deck, the One World Tarot, the links to that, where you can find that, is in the description. This deck was created by Lena Rodriguez and myself, edited by June Rifkin, and beautifully illustrated by Alexandra Filipek. This was a labor of love making this deck, and I use these cards all the time on this channel. So if you want to use them too, go check out the description. Anyway, let's get these all shuffled up nice, and then we'll actually start with an oracle card. I don't think I mentioned that in the description, or in the description. I've said the word description too many times. In the intro to today's video. Oh well, that's all right. These are the Moonology cards by Yasmin Boland. Not sponsored, but I do just really, really like this deck. So first we're going to look at career and finances. Yeah, for you guys, group 3. What is something that they need to know, Spirit, regarding their work and their money? What do they need to know for April 2025? Adjustments are required. Okay. So there may be some small changes that you need to make this month, but we're going to get into that in a little bit more detail in just a moment here. with our tarot cards. What kind of adjustments does group 3, pile 3, need to make? Oh. We're going to keep that Six of Swords. Something that was unstable is you need to make some adjustments so that it becomes stable, or make some small changes to the way perhaps that you do your work, or maybe a small change to your routine or something like that, that just provides a little bit of extra stability and a little bit of extra, I'm going to say calm to your working environment. But let's see what else we can get. Okay, King of Cups. I'm seeing this as extending compassion towards yourself. That could be an adjustment that you need to make. Maybe you have been overworking yourself and you're like, well, yeah, but I really need to work my way up. Like, I need to provide for my family. I have to grind. But inside you're like, I'm miserable, or I'm tired. This King of Cups is saying, like, honor the way that you feel, and maybe there are changes you need to make so that you are happy. And maybe when you are feeling happier and more comfortable, perhaps your work quality gets better, or you're able to do things more efficiently. I'm not saying this next thing to be insulting or anything, but it just seems like you're going to start learning how to work smarter instead of harder, group 3. What else can we get regarding their career and their work and their finances? Okay. I'm just going to keep those two that flipped up. 3 of Swords and 2 of Wands. If you are not happy with something, change it. And you don't need permission to do this. But, it's human nature. Sometimes we like seeing a sign, like, this is your sign that it's time to change, or this is your sign that it's time to do the thing. This is your sign that in April, make the changes you need to make. If you are not happy where you are, look towards working somewhere else. If you are not happy with, what you're doing, maybe it's one of those things where, you're just currently on a project, you're like, oh my God, this really, really sucks. I hate this. It's like, look forward to what is coming next, because eventually this will fade. You will be done with it because of the preparations you're going to be making this month for your near future. Yeah. And it's an old saying. I remember in elementary, I was in like grade 3, I think, my teacher had a great big poster on the wall, and it was a picture of a baby making a sour face. And the caption was, if something stinks, change it. So yeah, that's your permission, your validation that you were looking for to change something. Now, yeah, you're letting yourself suffer. I'm going to be careful saying letting yourself, because for some of you, yes, you are letting yourself, but then for others of you, it's like you're letting the circumstances control you, or you're letting others push you around, and it's causing you a lot of grief here. But 5 of Pentacles can also talk about financial hardship. Now, I don't think... Oh, see, you're walking away from financial hardship. Oh, look at that. I was just about to say, this does not mean that we're predicting you'll have financial hardships. No. I was saying, that's what you've already been dealing with, and you're going to move towards something a little bit better due to an adjustment that you make. I'm going to just scoot these up a little bit so we can see all our other cards a little bit better. Okay. 8 of Cups, 10 of Cups. Yeah, 8 of Cups, that's all about leaving behind the hardship, And then 10 of Cups, there's something about family here. So for some of you, perhaps you can afford to take, it doesn't have to be a lot of time off. Maybe it's just a couple of days to just be at home and play with your kids, or just be at home and rest, or just, spend a little bit of extra time with your family. They're going to really love and appreciate that. because they love you and appreciate you no matter how much money you bring into the household, right? Especially if you have kids. It's not, the money and the financial contributions and stuff. Like, I'm going to say really little kids, they don't understand that, right? But what they do appreciate is that, oh, mommy's home to play with me, or daddy's home to play with me, or, oh, my parents are in a good mood, or my adults, whatever. You can sort of change that to fit your family situation. But yeah, wow, like I feel paid attention to. I feel good because there's something about quality time. So in April, perhaps you do get a chance to take a couple days off, and the energy, it feels like just a very short break. It's not extended. You're not missing paychecks or anything, because like you've just been grinding so hard and for so long. You're struggling. You could be afraid of financial struggle, and that's why you're grinding. Spirit's saying it's okay to just take a quick break, to take a step away from the work just for a little bit. But also that if you are struggling financially, I'm seeing there could be like help or support from family. Let's just say like some people are very privileged and their parents are able to sometimes gift them a little extra money. Or one of the other groups, this example came up for one of them, and it's kind of related, so I'll use this analogy again. Maybe you need something. I think the example we used last time was a wash machine. Let's say your wash machine craps out. You're like, oh shit, these are expensive. I'm going to have to put in some overtime and work a stat holiday for that double time pay or whatever. But then somebody in your family is like, oh, we're actually upgrading our wash machine or our vehicle or our whatever to something different. And this one's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't work for us anymore. Would you like this? And then maybe you're able to either get the thing for free or for a very reduced cost, or trade or whatever. It just feels like your family, some aspect of your family. Now, this doesn't have to be biological or adoptive or, the family you created. Family can also mean chosen family, the people that you are closest to and love very dearly. They're going to come through for you in April and help you with something. So that's pretty good news. I'm excited for that, and I'm very grateful on your behalf. Oh, yeah, something is being balanced. Something wasn't quite correct before, and it's being corrected. Now, depending on where you are in the world, I know for Canada and US, April is tax time. That's the real crunch season. You have till the end of the month to get all that stuff together. Perhaps there was a mistake somewhere in like your tax paperwork, or there was a mistake on like one of your T4s or something like that from your workplace. That's being corrected. And it doesn't feel like the Seven of Swords, I'm not getting like intentional lying or crime or anything like that. Like it was a mistake, but it did cost you either some money or it kept you from receiving the proper amount of money. That's being made correct in April. So I'm very happy for you with that. I'm also getting something about your balancing your checkbook. I don't know who uses a checkbook anymore, but I will just tell you that's the expression that Spirit gave me. Wow. Yep. And it's a celebration. It's cause for celebration because it's like, oh, that was the missing piece. That's the correct information we need. That was the actual truth. So this is good. This is really good for you. I'm going to just go ahead and put these over here. Yeah, that's very exciting. I'm happy for you guys, group 3. So your family comes through, or, the people that you love, they come through to help you in some way. You're moving away from the financial hardships, and you're perhaps moving away from the fear of not having enough, that lack mentality. And there's no shame or no judgment for that, because that is a completely valid thing to worry about. And it is probably one of the biggest things that human beings worry about, I think, in general. But you're moving away from that fear. There's going to be less and less cause for this fear. And I love it. And it makes you happy. It makes you happy. Are there any more career messages for group 3 before we move on? And perhaps that's like one of the adjustments that was required. Maybe, you know, you need an accountant or a professional to look over something that, you know, maybe you're not very, I'm going to say financially literate or tax literate, and that's not a judgment at all. All that stuff seems like friggin' Greek to me. So, you know, it's okay if that's something that you are not comfortable doing on your own or don't understand on your own. A professional is going to be able to help you. Yeah, you're gonna just keep on keeping on, keep on keeping on. I think that's the saying. There's steady work for you in April. It looks like either full-time hours or full-time pay. I mean, it's almost always both, but sometimes people are very lucky or privileged and they have a job that gives them like full-time pay for part-time hours, you know? So whatever that means to you, however that resonates with you, but I do see for the majority, it is going to be full-time work, full-time hours. So if that was something you were worried about, maybe you're on a consistent schedule, because if like maybe you've been having to just pick up random shifts and that's been really messing with like your sleep. And you know, when that messes with your sleep is messed with, that messes with your mood, it messes with your self-esteem, it messes with everything. That could be a huge adjustment. So now, instead of just being a casual and you work when they phone you, or just random, like I said, just random shifts, like maybe maybe you've had to do a whole bunch of, my friends used to call it clopin, where you had to close one night, but then you had to open again the next morning. With very little sleep in between. Maybe you were having to do a bunch of that to like make ends meet or whatever. Now you're getting into something that I think is going to be more consistent, and that's going to feel so much better. It's going to really improve your schedule and your daily routine, your sleep, your health, your mental health. So that's awesome. Things are getting better for you with your job and your finances and stuff, group 3. Now I'm going to put these back. And we're going to shuffle. And we'll still pull an oracle card for your love and relationships, but I'm going to shuffle the career message energy out of these cards and prepare for the next section. And we're just shuffling. We're not keeping anything that flies out at the moment. If it comes up later, then it was important, but okay. Oracle card, backwards. Oracle card regarding group 3's relationships and their personal connections. What is the advice for them, Spirit? What do they need to know? And like I'd said earlier, it could be any kind of relationship, romantic, friendship, family, whatever Spirit thinks is most important to talk to you about today. Whoa! Which one? This one? This one. A personal issue reaches resolution. Okay, maybe you were fighting with a partner or a friend or a... We'll get into a little bit more maybe what kind of relationship this one is for. But you could have, been struggling with someone, fighting, not really being on the same page. And it seems like whatever it is about to be resolved in April. So that's great. What can we get from our tarot cards regarding group 3's relationships? It is this one that I want. Okay, Queen of Wands. There's, I see this as like self-expression. Now it could be creative self-expression, but it could also be, I have to be careful how I word stuff. I'm not afraid personally to talk about these kind of spicy, sexy topics, but YouTube is very weird about what is okay to talk about and what they deem inappropriate. Whatever. Yeah, so some creative self-expression in your relationships, but I was also seeing in maybe in a more, in your romantic / sexual relationships. you are feeling more confident and you're feeling a little bit more brave. So you're going to start asking to like try new things that you want to try, or maybe things that you like, that you know you like, but you haven't really done either in this relationship, or you haven't like really done a lot of in this relationship. You're like, babe, let's try something new. Or like, let's, you know, we haven't done that X, Y, and Z in a while. Like, let's do that tonight. That might be fun. You're feeling like very brave and confident. You know you're attractive. You're definitely feeling good about yourself in that way. Not just, you know, with your physical appearance and attractiveness, but it's also like your energy. You feel good about your energetic appeal. What else is going on with group 3's relationships? Yeah, maybe the issue that you were having, like if it's in a romantic relationship, maybe things were just kind of boring in your bedroom, or we're getting kind of like same old, and it was becoming a little bit routine. You're going to start mixing things up a little. Ooh, King of Wands, Queen of Wands, matching pair. I love that. We don't often see the matching pairs. Yeah, your gender is not important. You could be a guy and a girl together. You could be two guys. You could be two girls. I don't care. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, you're on the same page. You're vibing. You're like, you know what? Like, babe, let's try this thing. And then they're like, okay. And then you both end up really enjoying it. And it's like, wow, what a great way to shake things up and, you know, spice up our marriage or spice up our relationship. Like, wow, wonderful. And yeah, you find something that you end up becoming very passionate about, brings you a little bit closer in that way, which, you know, can bring you closer emotionally and stuff as well. Okay. Woo, you guys are the spiciest pile with your relationship readings. Okay, now aside from the romantic relationship, Spirit's saying you're also getting a message about your friendships. If you were having an issue, within your friend group, there's a justice card here. Something is being made correct. There's like I'm seeing a mutual, perhaps apology and forgiveness, or an explanation. Hey, I'm sorry I was acting like this. Like, this is what I had going on. It had nothing to do with you. You know, it's not an excuse. I just want you to know this is why I was being so distant, or this is why I was being so short with you, or maybe, you know, your friend is saying this to you. You're able to come to an agreement like, oh, okay, I understand now. I wish I had known that sooner, you know, and like, so that I can help you, or like, next time you struggle with this, please tell me so that I can help you, or, you know, whatever. It's like there's a misunderstanding in your friendships or in a friend group that you're in that's being made okay again. It's being made clear. So that's very, very good. Is there anything else about this or about any of group 3's other relationships? Let's see. Yeah, long-term. Well, I see usually 10 of Pentacles is all about that generational wealth and that long-term wealth and abundance. But I just see, like, at least with your friendships, whatever it was that you figured out and you're back on the same page, you know, you're back in a good groove, things are better, they're going to stay better. It's going to stay good. Now, does that mean our relationships are going to be perfect, smooth sailing with no conflicts ever again? Well, no, but it means that you have a strong enough foundation with this person or with these people to be able to move past things like that and work things out when you need to. You have good people in your life is what I'm hearing, group 3. You have really good people around you. And yeah, they're willing to work things out with you so long as you're willing to work things out with them. Anything else with group 3's relationships? Okay, Tower and 5 of Cups. Wow, okay. It's interesting because I think the other groups, they kind of all just had like one overarching, whatever, however you say that, message about their relationships. And then group 2, I think, was kind of like that as well. But you guys are getting like, this is one, this is one, this is one. So for those of you that are, okay, yeah, those of you who are in relationships that cannot be fixed, Because, you know, there are things that can be fixed and worked out. And then there are things and situations where maybe you've tried to work it out and you just cannot, or the situation is actually dangerous. Like, let's say abusive relationships, for example, those cannot be worked out. The only option for you is to leave as safely as you can. And you know, everybody's limits for what they're willing to forgive will vary, but for some of you that are in relationships that have really, shit has really hit the fan, you know, maybe you've become aware of this is very, very toxic, it's very unhealthy, or maybe, you know, the partner cheated, or some kind of very serious boundary was crossed, and it's caused you a lot of grief and a lot of conflict. So it's not saying that this will happen to you in April. This is something that's already happening to you for those who resonate with this message. Sorry, I'm gonna just rearrange my stuff so you can see it better. Okay, we'll see if maybe that's better. Anyway, I left off with, saying that this is just representing something you're already dealing with. If this third message resonates with you, doesn't mean that you're going to have shit hit the fan in April. It's already hit the fan, right? What's the advice for them, Spirit? Be direct with our Knight of Swords. Maybe you're being like manipulated or deliberately confused and led astray because, you know, your partner, it doesn't even have to be romantic in this sense. It can be friendships too. Sometimes friends do things that are unforgivable, or they cross a boundary that you just can't go back from, right? Or they're doing something behind your back that they are deliberately like trying to confuse you about and not like let you know the truth about. Be direct, ask what you need to ask, demand the information that you need. Of course, my advice here is like, don't start fights. If something turns into a fight, it turns into a fight, but you have the right to demand answers. You don't need to waste your time, or like with situationships even, you don't need to waste your time in the state of will they, won't they? Or like, does he like me? Does she like me? Are they leading me on? If someone's sending you mixed messages, ask for the truth. Tell them, like, be straight up with them and make that expectation clear that they need to be straight up with you. And if they won't, then you don't need them. You don't need them. Depending on what your situation is, this King of Swords is saying you have the intelligence, you have the wisdom, you have the information that you need, or you will get the information that you need in order to help you make that next step, that next choice, whether that is talking, like with the first example, talking with your partner about, hey, like this aspect of our relationship is getting kind of boring, or like the spark is kind of going out. Can we try something to reinvigorate it, right? Or with the friendship, hey, I noticed that we've been having an issue with this. Can we please just clear the air and talk about it? Like, you're getting the information you need to do what it is you need to do. Or the info, like say with the unhealthy relationship or friendship, you get that like that confirmation that you need that it's okay to move on. Somebody, if that difficult relationship, the unhealthy relationship message, if that's what resonates with you, for those of you for whom that resonates, you may also get really profound advice. I'm seeing like it's going to be from a friend, and they may not realize that they're giving you such good advice. They're just sharing an idea they have or something that they've learned from their own experience, and it's really going to open your eyes to what's happening in your situation and give you the power you need to leave, or again, do what it is that you need to do. So I love this. There are different ways in which these personal issues can be resolved. Fixing things with a romantic partner, you know, given your relationship is healthy and you love each other and you're both willing to make it work. Good friendships, you know, long-term success and happiness with these relationships. And then sometimes for those really difficult situations, sometimes the answer to the problem is to just leave. Some things can't be worked out, and sometimes just letting everything drop is the way to go. That is the solution, right? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put these back again. And then we're going to jump into our last section, which is the spiritual and personal growth for you guys in group 3. So let's do one more oracle card. Group 3's personal growth, personal development, their inner life, their spiritual world, whatever it is, God, spirit, universe, source, whatever you want to call that, that you need to tell them. Please, well, I don't even have to ask. Please give us the advice because I know you will. Thank you for the advice. Energy is gaining momentum. Okay, so really actually one of the first thing I was reminded here and the first thing I thought of with this energy is gaining momentum. This is like spiritual awakening kind of energy. Perhaps your spiritual awakening, or some people go through a Kundalini awakening and other types of awakenings. Perhaps it started off very gentle or subtle or slow. Now it's being kicked up a notch, okay? We're going from bell pepper to jalapeno. Or maybe for some of you, you know, you're in the jalapeno stage and you're upgrading to habanero, right? Things are heating up. That's my point. And it's because you're ready. It's not being forced on you. It's not being, it's not you're doing this whether you like it or not. It's okay, it's time to take this up a notch because you're ready. So what other info can we get about that? I did shuffle these. I definitely shuffled these, I think, well enough with our 5 of Cups and Knight of Swords, grief and fighting, or grief and conflict. Let's clarify. We're moving out of this energy. Oh, okay. We're moving out of this energy. I have teamwork here with our 3 of Pentacles. I'm seeing this as your spirit guides, your spiritual connection, helping you to get past whatever the challenges were. I do think that the relationship stuff really does play a huge part in this like personal growth message for you guys. You have help from your spirit guides, from your spiritual team. I do believe that everybody has a spiritual squad. We have guides, some come and go, and we have guides that are with us from incarnation to, you know, birth to death, basically, incarnating here to coming back to spirit. And, you know, sometimes we have guides that, depending on what we're going through in life and what we need to learn and what kind of support we need, they come in and help us. And then when we don't really need their help anymore, they go off and somebody else comes in to help with the next thing. You don't go through a spiritual awakening alone. You are spirit, but I'm like you thinking like also you have spirit that's going to help you. This leads to happiness. You're going to be happy. You're not going to be hurt by whatever was happening in your relationships here. Sometimes part of spiritual awakening is watching friendships or relationships fall away because they're just no longer, you know, and I'm going to put these over here like this, because they're just no longer in alignment with who you are now, or with what you need to learn, or with where you are going next in life. You have your guides that will help you with that. Now, it doesn't make it any less difficult. Sometimes these relationships leaving our lives can really hurt and can cause us some grief, or, you know, they can kind of end on a sour note or whatever. But it's going to be ultimately for your best. Now, Eight of Pentacles, you're doing so much inner work the month of April. I'm hearing something about like your spirituality is becoming a full-time job. Temperance, healing. It's going to be a long process. It's, but I like that, yeah, the heat is turning up a little bit this month. I think it's good in this case that it's kind of a slow process, because it's like, I'm seeing that while you're living life and doing your thing, this spiritual awakening and this growth is still happening in the background. And then, yeah, you're healing from the losses. You're healing from the conflicts, from the grief. You're healing, yeah, from that pain. And this is going to be maybe a weird message, but I don't know. I'll just trust it. For some of you, it's pain that other people have caused you, but I'm also getting it's pain that you have caused yourself. Sometimes we harm ourselves and we don't really realize that we are doing it. Confidence again. I love that with our expression with Queen of Wands. Now, this card was based on Marie Laveau. And she was a very, very well-known, very powerful, voodoo or hoodoo. Anyways, a very powerful witchcraft practitioner. And if witchcraft and spirituality or spiritual practices like that, like manifestation or, you know, divination, like reading cards or doing spells and stuff, if that is something that piques your interest, I think it's something for you to at least do a little bit of research on in the month of April, because it's going to really help facilitate this healing, this spiritual growth, and this inner work that you've been doing. And it's going to help you to feel connected to your guides and perhaps get messages from them a little bit more clearly than you have been before, help you get to know them much more deeply than you maybe currently do. I like this. Oh, I love this. So this is, I'm seeing this as like inner peace and inner happiness. You love you. You love who you are. You know that spirit loves you. They love who you are. You know, your guides love you. They love who you are. And I'm also seeing like your ancestors and those who, you know, were your family that are now on the other side. They will have a spiritual influence. And like I'm just getting that they are available for you to come to and to express your feelings to, or to just talk to and share about your life with them. You have your spiritual family is right there for you. And you're always connected. They're right there at your fingertips. Sometimes you just have to give them permission to come in and work with you. Is there anything else before we wrap up regarding spiritual and personal growth? I love how supported you are. You're healing and you're doing all of this important work, but you are 100% supported. Yes. Setting the stage for the next like long-term stretch of your life. More confident with the spiritual awakening. You feel that you have more control. You're not just going to be so reactive to life. And you know, yeah, there are sometimes where shit happens and you can't control it, but at least you feel like you're less at the whim of, you know, some cosmic, whatever you want to describe that as, you know, some cosmic entity that's just fucking shit up and throwing things around for you or whatever. Like you're starting to realize you have more control over your life than you think you do. You have more influence over what happens in your life than you think you do. Now, do we control and influence everything? No, but some things, yes. Yeah, I love that. From being reactive with our Seven of Wands, defensive, to making preparations to set yourself up for a good future, to set yourself up for good. You could be manifesting like financial stability. You could be working on that. You could be healing the lack mindset or the like the struggle mindset. You could be releasing that as well as part of your spiritual awakening. And then you feel more confident in life and you feel a little bit more secure because you have the acceptance now that, like I said, there are some things you can't control, but there are some things you can, and you're getting a better handle on what kind of things you can prep for and control. And yeah, you just feel more grounded. I think you're going to be doing a lot, excuse me, I think you're going to be doing a lot of grounding exercises, especially with it being springtime, at least where I am. Other parts of the other hemisphere, it's a little different, but at least around where I am, it's much warmer out. It's easier to spend time outside. Spending time outside in nature is a wonderful, really super easy way to ground your energy, and to just, there's just something so healing about being out in nature and releasing the energy that no longer serves you so that it can be transmuted into something greater. So there's big transformation for you, group 3, and I'm excited for you. I think these are all good messages for you. And that is all I have for you today. I really hope that this was helpful. Private readings are open. The description, or the link is in the description where you can book. If you like the bracelets that I wear on my channel, link to Otter Spirit Shop is there. If you like the One World Tarot and you want it for yourself, the links are there as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this, you know what to do. Like, sub, comment, whatever you want to do. And I really appreciate you being here, and I'll see you around next time.